So, can we just like pause for a second and just actually sit here and grasp how big of a number this is? 8,000 horsepower. That is actually unreal. So today we're riding a Sauron. I know a lot of you boys don't like e-bikes and that, but I just thought these are nice to do every now and then, a weird and wonderful creation. So this is an updated version of the Saurons that we already had in game. This update comes from a man by the name of Jet Black Priest, and it is just called the Jet Black Sauron, and it's very, very jet black, as you can see there. It's like just pure black, nothing else. Can't see much detail going on, but it's got a set of factory tyres that he's updated for it. If we come along to drivetrain, you can see just how fast the bike can go. And if we come along to others, we got a hell of a lot of voltage options here. So we're going to select 240 volts, and we're going to try and hang on for dear life. First of all, we need to see if this thing can even get any grip, because that much power, there's surely no way it can go down to the ground. We're either going to backflip or we're just going to do 360s everywhere. And secondly, I just want to see how the bike handles as well. So we might even tone it down at some point to see how the bike rides overall. But this is a weird one. I'm not sure how this is going to go.
For all of you passionate gamers, you can now get 20% off all G Fuel products worldwide by using code LINS at checkout. And for any of you motorheads looking for some new drip or apparel, use code MXPR_LINS15 fxrracing.eu to get 15% off. All links and codes are in the description down below. Enjoy the video and drop a cheeky little like and subscribe.
Now, something else you might find a bit weird about this is this Sauron. We've got gears. We've got a 3-speed Sauron here, and we have a clutch that we can pull in and accelerate. So it's not fully automatic like all the other ones have been. Now, Jet Black Priest, in the description, when he uploaded this onto XP Mods, he said that he wanted an e-bike that could rival the Honda with the Fireblade engine in, the 1000cc Honda that we rode before. So we're going to see if that's the case. And I actually just noticing, I mean, you can see from the controller overlay how much like throttle input I'm putting in. It actually feels a lot more rideable than I expected. Like, as long as I'm gentle and I'm rolling on the throttle, we can get on the power fairly hard. He says he's done some sort of tests. Apparently it does a quarter mile in about 8 seconds, which I think is like pretty damn fast. Oh my god, I did not mean to wheel that whole thing. And this isn't like a full custom creation from him. He's taken the existing Sauron that we had in game and modded it accordingly. So handling wise, it should handle similar to the other ones, but it should just be a little bit over the top in terms of power. This might take me a little bit of time to get my head around. I'm not going to lie. This is a little bit overwhelming. Interesting having 3 gears as well. Reminds me of the old like Cosworth Yamahas back in the days when they'd only have 3 gears. Kind of saving weight, nice and powerful. Pulls in every gear anyway. I would put a little disclaimer. I wouldn't probably recommend you try riding these things at 240 volts because nobody needs it. Unless you're trying to do some weird long jump challenge for TikTok or Instagram or something, then, I mean, by all means, knock yourselves out. But there's no need. You don't need to be going 150 plus miles an hour on a motocross track anyway. Apparently there is also a Supermoto version of this, as well as an MX version. So for any of you bike lifers that want to ride something a little bit different, the ability to do so is there. Or maybe you want to ride a Sauron in a Supermoto environment. I don't think I've ever seen it, but the option is there should you wish to do so. How have I got so... I'm literally... My kit is already completely covered in brown in the space of half a lap. That is unreal. Only downside, I'm guessing this is to do with the tyres that I have installed. And I can't remember if I've got the Maxxis or the Dunlops, but I'm pretty sure they're all part of whatever GeoPanda released way back in the day. You'll notice that the tyres essentially are white. And in the biz, we like to call them the cummy tyres, for obvious reasons. Nothing I can do about that, I'm afraid. I think the default tyres in the game might be okay, but if you have any sort of like cosmetic tyres on, I think this is going to be the end result, unfortunately. It's just that the game with its custom models and mods, it does this sometimes. I've got no idea the rhyme and or the reason. The modding side of the game, outside of tracks, is something that I really don't get myself involved with too much, so I don't know all of the ins and outs and the technicalities of this at all. But I'm very surprised so far. This is much more rideable than I expected it to be, much more tame. But then, thinking back here, the Fireblade Honda that we rode as well, it was fast, but it wasn't unrideably fast, because I'm pretty sure we tried getting around Hawkston, and it didn't do too terribly. I think the only problem with that bike was trying to get the power to the ground. Like, the back end, it was sliding all over the place. But the tyres on this seem pretty damn good. And like Jet Black Priest, he's made his own tyres. They're called, like, factory. I think you can have a 90 or an 80 on the front, and then a 110 or a 120 on the rear. I've just gone for whatever stock was, which I believe is 90 front and 120 rear. And so far, so good. It actually handles it not too shabby at all. Now, I'm not sure the best place to test this out. I reckon, you know what we could do? Which is one of them things I feel like it's almost a rite of passage when we ride bikes like this, or a little bit over the top, is you take them onto Forest, and the massive step up triple, we usually see if we can jump that one further and land on the step down after it, so we turn it into a massive quad. I think we might have to give that a try. I've made one extra change to the bike outside of slapping on 240 volts. I've extended the swing arm a little bit, so hopefully we don't loop out quite as easily. But you'll notice, look how much tidier the background is, by the way. Today is the very last day I have to pack everything up before I leave. So I'm recording this on Thursday. Friday, when you're seeing this, I would be on my way up north. It's a 4-ish hour drive. The traffic's probably going to be awful because it's a bank holiday weekend here in the UK. So what that means is we've all got Monday off work as a given. Well, most people have anyway. So what a lot of people do is they will also book the Friday off so they can have a very, very long weekend. So I imagine Friday is going to be quite a busy day, and we'll see how it goes. Let's see if we can send this bad boy. Yah yeet! Distance-wise, didn't struggle at all. I have noticed the front end on this is a little bit loose, so if you don't land pretty damn straight, it will tuck on you. So just worth noting that, but power, you can see, is absolutely insane. It got over that so easily. And yeah, I've got a bit of a busy day coming up, I'll be honest. So I have, well, basically, just before recording this, I just got off the phone with the gas and electric supplier for the property, setting up the account, making sure everything's working, it's all under my name. After this, I've got another one, maybe 2 videos that I need to do, just so I'm covered in case like internet and things like that don't get set up in time, or I can't get my desk and my setup all together in the next couple of days. I also need to call the water supplier at some point to get that under my name. Charlie wants to go and meet up at some point so we can get something to eat as like a final goodbye until we meet up to go to things like the Vets MX Nations at Fox Hills, or the actual MX Nations at Matterley later this year. It's going to be a sad time to see my boy go. But I plan on coming home maybe once a month, once every 2 months, just to visit the family and such, so I'm sure I can swing by there. And I mean, I don't know if he wants me saying this, but he's also moving out as well, yeah, this weekend, which is like very, very strange coincidence. Like, I don't know how long he's been in his current house with his family. Obviously, I've been in this one for the last like 24 years of my life. So I'm excited / nervous at the same time. It's just going to be such a different... It's just going to be a shock to the system, you know, kind of doing everything by yourself and actually having to be a responsible adult. Like, I can't just sit here on my cheeks all day, every day. I actually have to take responsibility. And I'm not sure if anybody else struggles with this at all, but my entire, let's say, adult life, even when I was working in the office and stuff, I get this feeling when I'm on phone calls, like I get really hot, almost like a bit flustered. I get really, really stressed and anxious about the call. And I just really hate talking on the phone. I'd actually rather talk to people face to face than on the phone, if that's a really weird thing. But now I kind of have to not make excuses and pull my finger out and just actually do stuff. So yeah, very very weird. I'm going to try my very best to be as organized as possible with everything. Like, have a proper filing system with like all the letters and stuff from various companies going all over the place, and I want to just do it right from the beginning and then not be caught in a position where it's like stressed about like what bills you have to pay, and just keep some spreadsheets on what I'm paying and this, that and the other, and budgeting wise. And I'm probably going to be very OTT, but I feel like it's the best way to be sometimes, especially when you're doing this for the first time. But I am excited for it as well. It'll be nice to like just not be told what to do anymore, if that makes sense, because I feel like it doesn't matter how old you get, if you are living under your parents' roof, there are like a certain set of rules that you still abide to. And what will be very nice now is not having like a strict cutoff of, say, 11 PM for when I can even record or live stream anymore, because I'm not going to be able to wake anybody up anymore. I've got a girlfriend who could sleep through a burglar breaking in and seeing everything, so she's not waking up at any point. So I'm going to have a nice little, I think, set stream schedule. So a couple nights a week I'll be streaming, then a couple nights a week I'll spend with her as well. And I'm just really looking forward to it. It'll be a very, very fun time. I know the first week or two might be a bit stressful in terms of going out and buying everything what you need. It's silly things, you know. It's like making sure you've got loo roll or toothpaste, shower gel, all that stuff. Buying, you know, like kitchen cutlery, utensils, like pans, pots, everything. Just making sure that you've got it and anything that you need any given time that you have. So that'll be stressful for the first little bit, is keep remembering things I need or don't need. But once we're set up, I think it'll be fine. It'll be absolutely okay. And it'll be like an ongoing project, I think, where over the first couple of months, we just get like one biggish investment at a time. So, for example, I'm taking a bunch of furniture with me, whether it's my drawers or my wardrobe or bed. But then, for example, where my girlfriend lives now, it's a furnished property, so she doesn't actually own the furniture, so she can't bring it with her. So we need to buy like another wardrobe for her and just bits and bobs, you know, and really make it a bit homely. Because I think for the first few months, we might even just have a room that's completely empty. You know, it's a 3-bed house. There's 2 of us, so do we need 3 beds? Probably not. But in the location where it is, it kind of worked out the same price as getting a 2-bed house. So we thought, just expand the search, get a 3-bed in there anyway. And that's just what we ended up getting lucky enough to get. So big dubs all around. I can't lie, boys. I'm actually really surprised by how rideable this bike is, considering how fast it is. It's not that it rips your arms off straight away, but it's got a lot of top speed. But if you just roll on the throttle a little bit and use the gears to control how fast you're going, you can just absolutely rip. So if I just put on the throttle a little bit more, like look how far I've just gone there in just such a short run up as well. The only thing I will say about it, which is a little bit sketchy, but obviously Jet Black Priest, who released this update of it, didn't really have too much to do on this, is like the overall stability, I guess. So power-wise feels really, really good, but just general stability of the front end feels a little bit loose. I think we're a little bit spoiled these days in regards to just overall bike stability, because we ride the OEMs all the time, and they're very, very planted. You can get away with overjumping a lot of jumps with how good the suspension is. So maybe this is more of bringing us back to reality, if that makes sense, and the bike handles a bit more realistically. Like if you're over jumping something by 10+ feet, there should probably be consequences for the actions. I do think we can get away with a lot these days, which is why the game is so quick. So it's a bad thing and a good thing that the bike's not as stable as it could be. I mean, we can probably send this quad just up and over, no problem. Just yeet. Downside it. Go on, please turn in time. Yes! Oh! Still love tap on the wall, that's fine. 3rd gear does seem to be a good one, because it doesn't rip your arms off when you pull away, because it's just got that little bit of a higher gear bog. Then you can really get up to speed quite quickly and just send big bad boy lines like this, and then hopefully not end up in the fence. But it's actually okay. I might transition over to a supercross track real quick and see what the suspension's looking like. Because if this thing can bark a whoop section, I was going to say boop a walk section, that's not how it goes. Bark a whoop section, then I feel like it could be the full package. Just watching it. If you don't follow Axel Hodges on Instagram, by the way, this clip is like actually insane. Just manually and wheeling around the entirety of just a motocross track, just as you do, just hitting jumps, like, and then just geezers watching him. You must be so mind blown seeing stuff like that. It's actually insane. But let's try this out then. So we're going to do it. Slap it on 240. I'm going to extend the swing arm just a little bit again, just to make it a bit more, I guess, rideable. And then we're going to see how this goes. So I'm going to put it up into 3rd gear. I'll probably just stay in 3rd gear around the whole track. So we are riding Nashville here. The reason that I didn't want to ride Philly is because the whoop section on Philly isn't really barkable anyway, if that makes sense. So we're going to see how this goes. And I'm really, really sad that I'm missing Denver this week. I'm pretty sure it's Denver this week. Reason being is it's the 3rd track this year, which basically has the same track layout. So we had Indianapolis. We then have this track here, Nashville, which is basically identical to Indianapolis. We then have Denver, that is even more identical to Indianapolis, plus 1 extra corner. And so far, I won at Nashville, this track. I won at Indianapolis. So my chances of winning at Denver, I feel like, were quite high, since apparently I only do well on those sorts of track layouts. So yeah, I'm very sad about it. I realise I have actually just gone the wrong... No, I didn't go the wrong way. That was fine. That's fine. And then, so we're going to triple in here. Can we hit the quad? Go on. Oh, quad. And quad out. Oh. Okay. So, obviously, I got over that quite clean there. I expected to be able to jump it a lot further than I did. So that quad out of that first rhythm was kind of just doable on Husky 450. And it was doable here on this with max wattage, but I didn't over jump it at all how I expected. I have a feeling that there's probably a lot of back end slip. So even though the back end's not sliding side to side, it might still be wheel spinning. So all that power's not going to the ground, which is stopping me from just absolutely sending it into the stands. But suspension wise, it's actually pretty damn good. Oh, there's not really any engine braking. That is something I need to know. I need to brake a lot sooner than that. So through the whoops, it's pretty damn solid. I can't lie to you. Now, I am not a bike setup man by any means. I just, as you know, I just ride what I get given, and hopefully it's good enough. And this is it's pretty damn good. Go on, get it, get it, get it, get it. Brake, brake, brake. Yes. And yeah, even if you bang it down to first gear, I really don't feel like the engine braking's doing much for you. So you do just need to brake really, really early. But because the bike is so light at the same time, it's really easy to lock the brakes up. So you just have to be a little bit careful. I'm trying to be as gentle as I can on these inputs. I mean, you guys can see if I'm being rough or not on the brakes and the accelerating. Let's go careful round to the right, up and over. Just yah-yee over triple. Let's try and push the front end a little bit and see if we can hug the inside through the sand here. Still handled it okay. It's just... Oh, there you go. Back end's getting a bit lively now. So let's go down the gearbox, outside. Can we triple onto the table? No problem at all. Step off. So it doesn't feel too far removed from like 450 power on a Supercross track. I think outdoors is more where it would shine. And at the moment, the suspension feels quite springy. So even though I'm not going really, really quick, it gives me lots of pop to get up and over these rhythms. So it's actually quite a viable option, which I never thought I would say about a extremely cracked out Sur-Ron. I really didn't. So the combined works. Annoyingly, the link on MXB Mods where he linked the original doesn't have a name. I think it's Turbo that created the Sur-Ron that this is based off of. So to Turbo and to Jet Black Priest, for your unintentionally combined efforts, I would like to say that you've done quite a good job here. It's a very, very enjoyable bike. Whether you... Oh, actually, I didn't even see... Can you see that at the bottom of my screen? Hang on, let's come to a stop. See if I can see that when I'm at a stop. What's that? Oh, so it's got like a speedo and how fast you're going and everything. Obviously, it doesn't work in game, which is... Also, by the way, can we have working... Just call it a dashboard. Can we have working dashboards, please? Because it works in GP bikes. Can we have it in MX bikes as well? Because there's a few bikes now that could have electronic dashes on them, and I think it would look really, really cool. Just a little side note there, please and thank you. I'd really, really enjoy that, and I'm sure other people would. But yeah, if you boys are looking for something a little bit different to go and mess around on and just try some different lines, if you want some big transfers, anything like that, or again, if you're into your bike life and your wheeling, then I believe there's a Supermoto version of this as well, then go and check it out. I will leave a link to the MXB Mods page in the description for you if you do want to do so. And yeah, I'm just pleasantly surprised, and I do really enjoy seeing weird and wacky bikes like this getting released. It's nice to do something outside of the norm all the time and not take the game too seriously. So more of it, more of it. I don't know what else we can get in the game at this point. I mean, we've got snowmobiles, we've got e-bikes, we've got like 1000cc machines, we've got hill climb bikes. I mean, maybe the only thing left to do is like trial bikes. Maybe, I've got no idea. I have no idea how they'd ride in game. Or yeah, I don't think. Oh, actually, maybe physics-wise, I'm not sure how well that would work. But I'm sure someone out there with a big enough, well, a brain much bigger than mine will be able to do so. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Nothing else to say. Good job all round. Very, very enjoyable. Catch you boys next time. Peace.
I'm working hard. I'm sacrificing my life. I'm sacrificing my mind. I'm sacrificing my sanity. But most importantly, I'm sacrificing my time. Boy, I feel fine. I feel like I am a king. Honestly, I can't complain. Even with faith that's the size of a grain of some salt, I will still move a mountain and do what I want. I got soul to beat with my